Welcome, everybody, to Reggie Lewis night here at the Boston Garden.
I don't even know how to explain it. It was just overwhelming.
To think of Donna there with 2 children there now. Died so soon, too soon.
Tonight, we will have his number raised to the rafters.
He was right on the verge of reaching the upper echelon of players in the NBA, being a perennial all-star, in my opinion. So this was kind of recognition of a star who was being cheated out of his basketball destiny.
And then just to see all the people and all the respect that was given to him, it was really, truly amazing.
Reggie Lewis night, Boston Garden, March 22nd, 1995. Number 35 has now joined those of other Celtic legends raised above the Garden parquet.
It was very fitting for all that he did and for all that he gave of himself to put number 35 to the rafters. Very deserving.
Now I'm the captain of this basketball team. I got to make sure I lead the same way Reggie would lead. I needed that. You know, the franchise needed to see that number up there. Donna and the kids need to see that number up there. You know, anybody who associated with Reggie, his number belonged up there.
God bless Reggie. We love you and we miss him. Thank you.
I remember Red, talking to Red that day. I said, Red, I can't believe this. I can't get over this. And he looked at me and said, did you think I ever thought I would outlive Reggie Lewis? Are you kidding me?
It's a great honor to be asked to raise the flag for Reggie Lewis, because to me, he personified everything a Celtic should be. I mean that sincerely.
To see all these people and to hear all the things that they were saying, and I really believe it was genuine.
Another number goes to the rafters, and I hope he will finally get to rest in peace.
And then you pinch yourself. This is my son. Golly, I can't believe it. This is Reggie. Boston really loved him. Thank you, Boston.
Yeah, it's always sad when someone dies young because there's a whole group of people that's going to miss out on him, miss out on the highlight clips and all the attention. And, you know, I imagine there's a whole bunch of kids, track athletes, that go to the Reggie Lewis Center and have no idea who Reggie Lewis is. And that's a shame.
9 months after Reggie's number reached the rafters of the Garden, his number appeared once again as a beacon of hope for Boston's inner-city athletes. A $20 million state-of-the-art athletic facility, which had been funded by the state of Massachusetts, declared that the center would be named in honor of Reggie Lewis.
I think that naming this facility after him and in his name is a fitting way for the Commonwealth and the city of Boston to say thank you to him and his deeds.
When you play a sport in the city of Boston, from Larry Bird, Bob Cousy, all of the greats, okay? And you're too young, or you're just born and you're hearing about it from your parents of these great legends. But the one thing that hasn't happened for our community and as an African American was this guy has a building that sits up the street from where I was born, the Reggie Lewis Track and Field House. People come, NBC, track and field, basketball games, this, that, and the third. Whoever thought, believed that type of landmark lets you know it was bigger than ball. That, to me, is the ultimate of his contribution in memory of him as a landmark for generations to follow.
My son plays in the Reggie Lewis Center. How cool is that? You know, when I walk in through those doors and I can explain to my son who Reggie Lewis is and the legacy that he left behind, that's just amazing, you know. He left his mark.
So we always talk about, don't we, in the end, about winning, right? Winning a championship. That's what matters. That's why KG and Ray Allen and Paul Pierce will always have their place. And and Bird and Parrish, McHale, and have the place. And then in between, there's this gap, and that's where Reggie Lewis falls, isn't it? In that gap. And I just hope people can remember a great person, a great player. To me, an ultimate Celtic, just a great Celtic that just never got a chance to do what he probably could have done had he lived.
You know, everybody gonna remember Reggie. Yeah, Reggie was one of the ones who was the most successful in the NBA out of our group in high school.
They haven't forgotten about him here in Baltimore, what he meant to this program, to the city, to the state of Maryland. I'm just so proud of all of his accomplishments, really am.
See that smile right there? That smile right there, that's Reg. I mean, he has so much to give. Just his presence, you know, he cared for everybody.
In my office, I always had a picture here at ViewCon of all my kids and Reggie. I'll miss him forever, and he was like a child of mine. I mean it honestly. We all have to deal with loss. But I always remember the Reggie. I remember Reggie hitting game winners. I remember Reggie being drafted. I remember Reggie being captain of the Celtics. I remember so much positive and great things about Reggie Lewis that nothing in this world could ever take that away from me and until the day I die.
You know, you want to see a great player, y'all probably don't know, go look up Reggie Lewis. Go YouTube that. I'll make it a point to make sure people really know who he is. Just a person that, you know, I remember every day of my life.
He laughed very readily. That's who he was. And he didn't need to change because he could play.
He was a great kid. Came in to a team full of superstars. And he learned how to be a leader. And you know what? In professional basketball, we don't have enough leaders.
Would Jim Calhoun have gotten the UConn job? Would I have become the head coach in Northeastern? He changed so many people's lives because he was such a great, humble person that his success, he carried a lot of people along with him.
When I think of Reggie, the master of the first step.
Reggie Lewis was one of the great ones. If he had lived and finished out his career, you know, he would be in the hall right now.
We lost the captain, we lost an all-star, we lost a Celtic, but we also lost a friend. And he is a darn good friend, and I miss him.
You know, people just don't understand. Life can be taken away from you just that quickly. And he reached the highest pinnacle that he had envisioned for himself, which was the NBA. Man, I just miss him.
We go see the grave site and the flowers on the grave and talk to Reggie.
To him, lay beside him, take pictures.
Yeah. But my niece told me one time that that's just the body, the spirit will always be with us.